Hi Taurus, here is a general look at your solar chart for November 2016, and as always when the sun comes round into your opposite sign, it's about relationships and how you can get the best out of them, whether that's close relationships, personal, business, any kind of relationship will do. And you and another could be bonding, teaming up, doing business. Until the 13th, Mercury is there in the same place as the sun in your opposite sign, so it's a great time for comparing notes, feeling a rapport, or consulting with somebody, like an agent, a go-between person, or somebody seeing you as the person that they would like to consult with, that they need the information from, that they want to hear your experience. And you are looked upon as the guide, the information giver, the go-between. Then Mercury moves from the 13th and goes into a sort of deeper area where you keep your cards closer to your chest, you're more introspective, you're drilling down to fundamentals, you're looking at underlying causes maybe, you're reading between the lines more, you're having to be more sensitive or thinking about other people's sensitivities, or if not that, then their value structure, their set of morals, or if not that, then their hidden agendas. And some of you could be more interested in what is hidden at this time, whether that is something that needs to be uncovered, or indeed something which has always been there but you just haven't been paying attention to. So this is also a good time to consult with somebody, but in a more confidential kind of a way, or somebody coming to you in a more confidential kind of a way as well. From the 23rd to the 25th, Saturn is over Mercury, and mental pressure, more responsibilities could be occurring there, related to contacts or vehicles, travel, transport, communications equipment, schedules, the like. However, at the same moment as that's going on, we have in the last 10 days expansive Jupiter in a very friendly relationship with Saturn, and that can mean you are spreading your wings, you're on a learning curve, but you're having to, there's a sort of a part of it here where you've got to be you feel a bit challenged, or there's more responsibility there, more pressure. But that would mean that, you know, you are on an amazing trip, but you need focus and tenacity to get yourself there. So it's like you're seeing all the sights and the wonderful people that you meet, but at the same time you've got quite a tight schedule, so it can be something maybe like that. But an important teacher or teaching can come to you at this time. Whether you see it at the time or not is another matter, but it can mean that things are lighting up in your mind anyway. Now, until the 12th, Venus, that's your ruling planet, is in a place of emotional depth. This is quite a touchy area, and it's easier for somebody else to touch your feelings, to sway your feelings, but also equally to push your button, and depending on how many buttons you've got, but also easier for you to touch somebody's feelings, to touch their buttons, press their buttons. So you know, it's always a two-way street here. Venus could also manifest as a relationship of you helping somebody out materially, or somebody helping you out materially, and supporting you in that way. But if you're in a negotiation type situation, it would tend to go in your favor. At least you're not going to do as badly as maybe you feared. But no, yeah, it would, and you would likely team up with somebody who could be quite helpful, or even though they didn't intend to be helpful because they were your opposite number or your opponent, it turns out that because they are the way they are, you find it helpful. And then after the 12th, we have Venus encouraging warmer, more supportive relationships, just relationships with those at a distance, or if they're not at a distance, they are at a distance mentally. That's to say they have a different set of associations or a perspective that is very different to your own, but maybe complementary. It could very well be. Again, whether you see it at the time or not. But it's possible that it could go that way. Although in the very last week there could be some real intensity going on there, deeper questioning going on there, maybe, you know, coming up against a resistance which is more maybe within yourself emotionally. But someone or something could be bugging you, but therefore you've got to be careful not to be projecting blame onto them when it's maybe something that was sort of indoctrinated into you, imprinted into you in earlier life. Tricky area, that one. In your earlier life, you know, a kind of patterning. And it's not their fault at all. As for the position of Venus from the 12th, also it's a great time to take a trip. It's a great time to put the word out there and let those experiences, you know, share them, let them fly, but also to source from just specific areas to get to be able to join up the dots, whether it's a plan you're mapping out, or whether it's something more kind of educational, or it's just life teaching you its lessons, you know. So that would be a time where you feel supported in any of those things. Now, there's a real hoolie blowing outside. I think it's probably rocking. I can see the camera rocking around, actually, and I'm sitting in a caravan here, and the whole thing is rocking. If I could turn the camera around, you'd see the trees outside with all the kind of the pine trees, so there's all the pine needles blowing and the wind and the branches thrashing around, and it's like they're in some wild dervish dance. But at least it's sunny, which is good. Now, the Mars is actually also in an outgoing area. That's up until the 9th. So again, joining up the dots, a teacher could be there for you, or some kind of yeah, it can be kind of an insight because of someone's information, or something that you discover which gives you information that is just the knowledge that you wanted. But again, it's a time to reach out for new horizons, to sign up for something new, something that you've never tried before, is to go to different places. You know, if you go on a regular walk, we'll do it the other way around. Even that will give you a completely different view on things. It'll be a time to be physically active, learning through doing. And then from the 9th, Mars is in an area for you to achieve certain goals that you wanted to do, and ambitions, or reach certain standards. You might feel a bit scrutinized by the outside world, so you want to make a good impression, well, for whatever the reason that is. You thinking more about image, coming up to the mark, as it were, but also taking on more responsibilities in life, really, and also taking more seriously your direction in life. Yeah, during this time, it's more likely. And over this transit, you'll feel the need to maybe you don't feel the need to, but you might have to have more to do with bureaucracy, authority figures, and bosses, teachers, parents, directly or indirectly. And you want to, you know, go forward with the master plan, and you're very, very likely to be able to during this time here, although sometimes crossing swords with those in that you feel are blocking you could happen, because Mars is just that feisty planet, you know, so that energy could be coming through you, but obviously we can turn that around and say that energy might be coming at you. So either way, forewarned is forearmed. And then from the 22nd, the sun goes into a gear shifting area, a deeper area, the area that Mercury has gone into on the 13th. And this is when you're asking, you know, you're feeling more sensitively, and whether that is emotionally, it might be, but it can also be intuitively. So it doesn't have to mean sensitively, emotionally. It might mean that your antenna is more accurate now. And also you could be weighing up what another side of things is in a relationship, or any kind of their status in any way, but also with money, property, possessions. And transition, because this is a transition house, is likely to occur when you're really ready to concede ground, and when you're ready to let go of something, and by doing that, the doors just swing open. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. It's called compromise, I guess, and then the doors swing open. And then Saturn is still in this long transit of your 8th house, which involves clearing the emotional decks, the material decks from the past. And this may involve, property, financial, joint finances, joint properties. And you become aware over this time frame what is the true priority, what really matters most to you now at this stage. And sometimes ditching or modifying a prior arrangement, so sort of finding a way around it. If you're stuck in a certain contract or agreement, you find a way around it. You look for the loophole, and this is always, there's permission for that. However, you have to see out the original arrangement, whatever that intention was. You Taurians born the 3rd to the 8th of May, or with 13 to 18 degrees rising, will feel that energy the most. And then we have Jupiter in your area of health and work until October 2017. Jupiter's just moved, and that means that you will be on a learning curve in that area there related to how you work, the type of, but it will tend to be expanding your life, this. So it's not got that grueling feeling of maybe Saturn somewhere. This one will be expanding you and helping you learn which health routine or work routine suits you better now, and also getting maybe quite excited and inspired about the adventure of it all. You Taurians born the 30th of April to the 8th of May onwards, the 30th of April to the 8th of May, or with 10 to 18 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. People might start appreciating you more for what your skills are, what you're really about. And also this is a great time, this time, once every 12 years that Jupiter comes into that part of your chart, for you to do some training and for you to do some teaching as well, and for you to do something regularly which is really expanding your horizons, whether that's to do with sitting down every day at your desk and doing a bit of something, or whether that's getting out there and doing a bit of something, or whether that's teaching, or whether that's going and being taught, whatever it is. And Jupiter will be going across the degree, or Pluto and Jupiter will going across each other's degree in the second half of the month. And so that'll help you with the power to succeed more through your intuition, more through your intuitive evaluation of what really matters most now. Kind of shedding all of the ego stuff, and getting down to the real nitty-gritty, because that's what Pluto's about. And feeling a benefit from that, feeling an insight from that, feeling that you've grown from that, understanding that all of the paraphernalia never really mattered anyway. And getting right to the pearl in the oyster, or the diamond in the piece of coal. Or it might be something that you don't even notice. So it always depends on where we're at when these little astrological weather systems come through, whether we're paying attention or whether we're not. And that's it for November. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also if you want to check up any of this material, it's written up on DianaGarland.com. And I'll see you the next time.